Natalie here for my final, maybe until some other time. That didn't sound right. Natalie here for my exit. That didn't sound right either. Okay, this is Natalie. I am concluding my time with you until we meet again and just touching bases on a lot of the things that went on yesterday. I didn't post last night because there were heck of drama. There was heck of drama with my grandson's first birthday and the invisible line that was drawn in the playroom where we held the party, where my daughter and her friends and her best friend's mother pretty much sat on one side of the room, and my mom and dad and my husband and the rest of our family sat on the other side of the room, and the middle ground was where my grandsons were playing and the party guests. It wasn't the way I would have wanted my grandson's party to be, but once again, it's not always about me. It was to give my grandson the opportunity to have a party, because my daughter certainly wasn't in the position to do that for him. And heck, what the heck, let's just be honest. His shiftless, no good dad, who is also the father of the twins my daughter is carrying, wasn't in a position and probably just didn't even care to do the party. His side of the family didn't show up, didn't participate, didn't help. And then the final blow came when my daughter told her sisters, well, we're going to have another party involving his family, which apparently we weren't invited to. Even though we invited them, even though I sent the invitations out to them, inviting them, it still wasn't what anyone wanted, except us. We were willing. So anyway, enough of that. That was the drama for last night. My daughters got into a little argument with their sister, and it's just, you can't control the things that other people do. So, which brings me to exactly what I wanted to talk about this morning. I wanted to make sure that I clarified yesterday what I was speaking about when I talked about the universe bringing me the house of my dreams, the house that I wanted, the universe doing all of that for me, only 7 months later to have it ripped away from me. Goes back to what I just said, the agency that people have to do what they want to do. For me, I was settled. We had worked diligently on, starting the restorations on this 100-year-old house and living pretty comfortably in it. Knock at the door, there's a guy coming, he serves me eviction notice papers because the house had been sold underneath my feet. The owner, Terry, who was really, nice to me in the beginning, this good friend, this, I want to see you in the house, she said she felt my passion for wanting the house for so many years, and we moved in, and apparently she wasn't what she was cracked up to be either, because she sold the house for the same amount that we offered to buy, on at least to buy. We were going to pay so much towards the ownership of the house, which she was in agreement with. We certainly signed a lease, and she left to Mexico. And like I said, within 7 months, we were forced to move out of the area, which we love dearly, which has the best schools in the state of Louisiana. We were forced to move into an area where my children went to schools that immediately we saw changes in them. My then 6-year-old Ellie came home soaking wet because children had put water from the water fountains in their mouth and spit it all on her, because she is quiet and nurturing, and she's just quite a unusual but special little girl. And because she wasn't loud and rowdy and was, you sense that when people are different. And unfortunately, my radar wasn't on when I met Terry, because had it been on, I may have done things a little differently for the house. But once again, I know the house was brought to me through my desires and through the hopes of years, years of wishing for something, and not only wishing, but doing something, watching for it, saving a little bit at a time for it, because when the house became available, that sign was put up for rent, for lease. It said for rent, for lease, for own. And I went in and I talked to her, and it was a $900 deposit. I had saved $925. Go figure. But once again, like I said yesterday, that is the law, the universe. Those are things that are brought to you. Now, going backwards to the 7 month, being forced to move and doing all of that, that is when I began my downward spiral into broke. And I want to clarify that broke means like Donna M. Butler always says, broke doesn't just mean financially or in your pocket. Broke is broken spirit, broken mind, broken heart. Those are the things too that you are broke in. And when you don't have the motivation, when you don't have the guidance, or when you don't have the passion in your life to do something about it, you find that you just can't, you don't have the strength, you don't have the desire, you don't want to go forward. And that's where we have to stop and make changes in our lives. This is where we have to realize and recognize when we get to that feeling, because I know I didn't want to get out of bed. I know I cried a lot. I know there was a longing in my heart for something that I wanted and for something that was missing. I can't go into detail at this time. When I get my time again, I'm hoping that Donna M decides to do round robin and we come back, or you like me enough and are interested enough in hearing more about me. Donna M's been kind enough to let me come up here and finish out my segment at her office. So hopefully I'll have the opportunity to do it again. It was pretty noisy at my house this morning. School's out for the Martin Luther King holiday. But what I want you to know is when that passion is gone and when it's drained from you, there is a sense of aloneness. And I had my family with me, my husband was with me, but then again, he kind of became the enemy, because I was saying, like, why didn't you do anything to save the house? Why didn't you help me? You knew how much I wanted this. Why weren't you there to help me? So, that passion, turned into anger, and then that anger into resentment, and the ripple effect was through my entire family. And no matter what they did, a house is a house. I heard that for so many people. A house is a house. You'll find another house. It just wasn't the same. I didn't put my all into the house that we moved into. But anyway, to make a long story short, when I realized that exactly what that statement meant, a house is a house. It's wood, it's stone, it's whatever. That my foundation wasn't that house. My foundation was built inside of me. That's when I made the change. That's when I started on my journey from broke to stoked. That's when I called upon that very universe I didn't know about initially. I called on that universe and I said, bring me back to my hometown. Bring me back to the school district where my children can succeed and be better. And within a year's time, I was back. And not only back that way, physically in a house, back mentally. Those are the things, sisters, that we have to strive for, is getting our mental selves in order, to realize that our family is the foundation and that no material thing can ever, ever, ever take the place of those that we love. I've learned that. I'm still a little selfish. I still love the way I look. I still work hard to get my nails done and keep, looking as best as I can. But my family is first, and my self-esteem is first, and never getting back into that deep, dark, dreary place is not where I want to go, and it was where I strive not to go. In closing, take care of yourself. Know the most important thing is you first. If you're healthy, then those around you will be healthy. Call on the universe. I will get a chance to see you again really soon. Peace out.